Another problem I'm having with these wipers, whenever I press the wash part of the wiper button for the washer fluid to come out, it's barely coming out. So what I'm going to do is change these little nozzles. You can see it right here, and that's the part number. If you want the part number, I'm gonna change the nozzle on these it's right here, clipped on right here. So I'm going to change the nozzle and see if it sprays better. I have a feeling those nozzles are clogged up. I already changed the pump, and the pump go right here. The pump go right here in the bottle. I already changed the pump, so now I'm going to change the nozzle and see what it do. And this the hose right here that bring the washer fluid up there to the windshield. It's not much that could stop it from spraying. It's either the pump, the hose, or the nozzles. There's nothing else to it. So, and this nozzle is easy to change. Once you pull it out the tank, if you want to save it, have something to catch the fluid that's coming out. But if you don't care about the fluid, you're just going to put new one in there. Just let it run out. Once you pull the pump out, disconnect the electrical wire right here, and disconnect this hose right here for the fluid, and that's it for the pump. You put a new pump in there, connect back your hose, and connect back your electrical plug, and that's it. It's a strainer at the end. Make sure you put that strainer back in there. That'll avoid debris from going into your pump and clogging up the pump. And just clip on. All you do is clip it off and pull it up. Another way you could try too is spray it while you have it off and see if you have fluid coming out of here. And you could blow through here and see if you have any restriction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it on and see if I have any fluid coming out of here. But at the same time, I don't think the nozzle is a problem. I think I have a problem with the hose clogging up. So what I'm going to do is take the hose off right here and blow through it and see if it's restricted. So I don't think the problem is the nozzle. I think the problem is that hose restricted. Alright, so I figure out the problem. I don't need a nozzle. What I did, I took this hose off right here. This hose goes directly to the other wiper on the passenger side. It's a T fitting in the middle that come down to the pump, and the pump is right here. So once I took this off, I blow in this end. This is the one that go to the wiper on the driver's side. There was no restriction. I blow in this one. There was no restriction because it was coming out on the other side, which is the passenger side. Now, once I took this one off and I blow in it, I noticed there's a restriction. So that's when I look up here, and what I noticed was this is not the hose for it. This is a hose for the overflow for the coolant reservoir. Well, notice this plug you could see under here. Maybe you can't see it, but it's a plug right there for the wiper motor. They had the plug between the right there where it plug in and the reservoir. So the plug was resting on the hose, and that was causing the restriction why the washer fluid couldn't come up. So I took the plug from between there, and I'm going to try it now, see if it's working. So now I got that working, but I'm thinking, okay, if you look on this, reservoir, it looked fairly new. So whoever had the truck before replaced this reservoir, and I'm thinking the reason they replaced that reservoir is because the plug for the wiper motor put a hole in the coolant reservoir, because it's right up against it. So in order for it not to do that again, that's why they put the hose for the washer fluid in between the plug and the coolant reservoir. But by doing that, you're creating a restriction for the washer fluid. So what I'm going to end up doing, I have a piece of rubber. I'm going to put it in between there, between the plug and the reservoir. That way it don't cut a hole in the reservoir. And that should take care of the problem of the washer fluid not coming up. So with a lot, the problem with these trucks is just a process of elimination. You gotta get in there, figure out how the part works, then figure out what's the problem that is causing, try to get to the root of it to fix it. Even if you take it to the shop, that's the same thing they're gonna do. Just a process of elimination, and sometimes they're gonna do it on your dime, because you're gonna have to pay for all that time they're spending trying to figure it out. A lot of times I tell people, if you think the shop too expensive, learn to do it yourself. Yeah, some of the shops overcharge, but some of them do charge a fair price. And some of these jobs, it take a while to figure it out. So I got these, and I didn't really need them, but I got extras because I always have a truck that use these. Just about all the trucks I ever buy use the same ones. So if I buy a truck that need it, or some point I need it, I already have them. And right now a lot of parts are hard to get. So if you could stack up on a few basic parts that you might need, it's not a bad idea. I went this morning looking for some mud flap. Freightliner didn't have none. Went looking for mud flap bracket. The exact ones I need, they didn't have that either. So I just have I had to go to the chrome shop to get them. Went to the chrome shop, they didn't have the mud flap I need, but they have the mud flap bracket. So I had to end up going somewhere else to get the mud flap. Went 3 places just to get something as basic as mud flap and mud flap brackets. But that's what it is. I'm going to put that rubber in there and then I'll be good. If you do any type of work on your truck, sometimes you see stuff like this laying around in the parking lot. I try to pick them up because sometimes you need to make something, and that's the right part that you need to make it. If you walk past it when you need it, you're going to have to go buy it, and that's when you can't find it. So all I need to do is put it between the plug and the reservoir. I'm just going to cut it so I have more cushion on there. I'm going to cut it and double it. So what I'm going to do is just slide this down. I'm just going to slide this down in there like that. That way the plug could rest on this instead of resting on the reservoir. See, this way I gotta put it. I gotta put it down in here. It's hard to see it. Even can't get an angle to put the camera so you could see it. Okay, you see that plug? That's the plug that was resting on the coolant reservoir. If you see in between there, in between the right here, there's a piece of rubber that I put in there. That way it don't end up damaging the reservoir again.